back to Zero Production Value Movie Reviews. I'm Hoernke. Today, I'm going to be discussing the 2019 Adam Sandler comedy Murder Mystery that was a straight-to-Netflix streaming release. This is the fifth film for Sandler under the Netflix banner, and it is yet just another mild-mannered comedy where he fumbles through a thin plot amongst smarter, more adept people. In other words, it's pretty typical for an Adam Sandler comedy in this day and age. And let me just ask one question here. Why, oh why, does he seem to always have to play this sort of ridiculous asshole to get his funny across? Maybe his comedy just subsists on him being a dick, but that shtick really got old as the 1990s drew to a close. I think he needs to, progress maybe a little bit in that vein. Although I don't know if there's much progression left in this somewhat old comedic dog. There's not much in the way of real merit here with this movie, but it's mildly humorous in an Adam Sandler comedy sort of way. By that I mean he makes movies, and the people who tune into those movies, they know exactly what they want, they know exactly what they're going to get, and that is exactly what is delivered. Sometimes I wonder, people who are like the fans of these Adam Sandler comedies like this, and then they go to the theater, or they go to the movies, and they walk into a movie like Uncut Gems thinking, oh, this is just going to be a typical Adam Sandler comedy. And then they're like, no, I'm going to run away screaming. That is not what I thought it was going to be at all. It's, when he takes a dramatic turn, he really ups his game. And that Safdie Brothers film is an interesting movie, shall we say, and it's definitely not going to be for everybody. I thought it was very good, but it's interesting, shall we say. Anyway, moving on. Sandler here plays Nick Spitz, and I'm like, Spitz, sure. A New York City police officer, and Jennifer Aniston plays his wife, Audrey. This is a rare re-team for Sandler and a Gal Friday. Typically, he's like run through the gamut of like every Hollywood starlet. And actually, I think, did I read something that maybe Charlize Theron was initially set to star? I don't remember. But in any case, like the only other female actress I can remember him re-teaming with has been Drew Barrymore back in the day. So, as a married couple, they set off on a European honeymoon that's 15 years in the making. That's right, a honeymoon, 15 years in the making. They kind of allude to the fact that they're not the richest people in the world, but they seem to imply much more strongly that just the reason they haven't taken this trip is because Adam Sandler is kind of a dick to his wife. That's the reason. So while at the airport, they're invited to go, instead of on this awful looking bus trip, they're invited to go with a very European Luke Evans named Charles Cavendish on his luxurious yacht for reasons. I don't know. They're never really explained. I think he just wants to piss off his family or something and throw a little oil in the water. I don't know. Like I said, it's never really explained clearly. Anyway, Luke Evans' father is the patriarch of the family, an uber-rich family, and he's played by Terrence Stamp. And all these family and friends are gathered on this yacht because he is celebrating pending nuptials to a girl much junior to him. He gathers all these people, and he basically decries all his assembled friends and family as leeches and says, I am forthwith going to remove you all from my will and give everything to this, my blushing young bride, to which obviously none of them are very happy. And as he's about to sign this will, lights go out, screams, crash, bang, lights come up, he's killed! Who done it? Is the will valid? Did he sign it? Of course he didn't, right? So it seems very thin, or a very thin plot that now it's like, oh, one of these people killed this guy in order to prevent this will from being signed so they could still get their hands on money. Kind of reminds me very much of a Knives Out sort of plot, but I can't really fault it for that, as it came well before Knives Out. But this really, I mean, that's kind of where the similarity between that ends, because this is like obviously a much more tongue-in-cheek comedy, whereas Knives Out skewed more towards, you know, thriller drama sort of whodunit. The police, in silly European police fashion, of course, blame the Americans for the murder because they had a reason to kill this guy, other than all the people gathered. But like I said, it's just played for a silly, funny gag sort of thing. So it's up to Nick and his wife Audrey to bumble around and attempt to solve this crime. Along the way, more people are killed in bizarrely humorous fashion. This leads to a climactic reveal that winds up being not so climactic, especially if you know French. It's a little bit transparent, and obviously I don't even know if I really cared by the end who the killer actually was, because you really don't care too much about any of these characters. All the characters here are just simply parodies of archetypes. They're all one-dimensional, and they're never really fleshed out or given really too much of a beefy story or anything. So this winds up being just what I said at the outset, a silly throwaway Adam Sandler comedy that these days are pretty much a dime a dozen. It panders to an audience that likes his mild, banal humor. But like I said, if you're one of those Adam Sandler fans, and if you like this sort of comedy, just like a very mild-mannered, slightly crude, you know exactly what you're going to get, and you won't be disappointed. Like, I felt it wasn't very good. I feel like if you're going to make a movie, you should be making a good movie. Rather, what this film does is it hits the mark it's aiming at. It just sets that mark really low. I keep hoping that Adam Sandler will sort of level up his comedic game in the same way he takes on dramatic roles, but he really seems to have a disparity, and he wants to do this bargain basement comedy and, you know, really good serious Oscar stuff, I think, in order maybe, or Oscar stuff, really good serious drama stuff, I think, chasing an Oscar, which he's never going to get for his comedy. But the only comedy that I think that really kind of maybe upped the acting part of it and was a bit more elevated was, I think it's called Funny People, which was a Judd Apatow comedy. But I wound up not liking that for completely different reasons. But like I said, mild-mannered Adam Sandler comedy, I didn't like it very much. If you like Adam Sandler comedies, you're probably going to have a ball. I like him to be better, but it might be just a little too late in the game for this old dog to have new tricks, especially when it comes to his comedy shtick. So for all that, I'm going to give Murder Mystery, directed by Kyle Newacheck, a D+. I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching my movie review. I really enjoyed making it. As always, I'm Eric Hoernke. That rhymes with turnkey. Like, subscribe, comment. And as always, this has been a production of Zero Value. Thanks for watching.